If you've ever wanted to start a business or get into government contracting or corporate contracting, this is the video for you. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on all of our social media channels. There are so many different things that we're going to talk about today, but if you ever have any questions, you can always go to BizCentralUSA.com. We help small businesses grow. I always talk about how fortune favors the bold. And all of these people have persisted and they are able to succeed. They really had a lot of different failures. And, as a good friend of mine used to tell me, and I always keep this as a little sticky on my desk, is that you survived 100% of your worst days. Starting a business is kind of easy. But there's so many different parts of the business that hopefully that you will get to learn how to do as you go along. Finding out your motivation is going to be super important so that you can go ahead and decide, is this really for me? A little bit about BizCentral USA. The company's been around since 2004, so it's about 20 years old. I am the second owner. My name is Janet Carruthers, and I am the CEO of BizCentral USA. We are located in the DC metro area, but we serve the entire United States. And we are also a certified woman, minority, and service-disabled veteran. I actually left Additionally, I also worked for the Small Business Administration as a training officer. So here's how BizCentral USA helps entrepreneurs and small businesses. We really try to educate. Education is our main focus. We want to help small businesses and entrepreneurs really understand the certification process and also the contracting process. Starting your business can be a little bit overwhelming. A lot of us can go through the motions of starting our business. We try to help you understand the legal structure and the financials and what's the purpose of your business. What is a business plan? And all of the things that come about in starting a business. Learning the business language and making sure that you know the basics. And understanding the certification and contracting process comes after that, starting the business. And also the importance of networking. So let's talk about business certifications. A lot of people have heard about business certifications, and basically what business certifications are, it's going to give you access for government, state, local, and corporate contracts. And when you join the community, we're going to try to answer as many questions. We will have Q&As a couple of times a week or once a week, and we'll try to answer as many questions as possible. The bottom line is business certifications level the playing field for those of us that are small businesses. There are some of these certifications help you get set-aside contracts. It's not a guarantee that you will get a government or corporate contract. It just means that you will get equal opportunity to get them. Another benefit for business certifications is that you're going to be listed in databases so prime contractors can find you. Sometimes in these business certifications, depending on the organization, you could get different grants or other education and capacity development programs to help you. Here's the key thing for all certifications is that you must be managing the day-to-day operations of the business. So whoever's getting the certification, they need to be managing the day-to-day operations. There's a misnomer that a lot of people think that it is just because you're a 51% owner, then you automatically can get the certification. You got to have the license, you got to have the experience to do that. That's going to be really super important in order to get you certified. So you probably heard a lot about certifications only because of the 1.2 trillion infrastructure bill that came out in 2021. And that bill provided for a lot of different opportunities. Here are the areas where they put the money into it. Most of it is going to be in construction related, electric buses, and so forth. power grid, cybersecurity, and climate change. And if you've driven around here in the United States, you're going to go ahead and find some roads that were probably part of this project. So what are some basics of business certifications? The number one thing is you've got to be the person getting this business certification must be at least 51% owned by a U.S. citizen. Some do allow for legal permanent resident, or if there are more than a couple of owners that make up that 51%, that's okay too. That 51% owner or group of owners must be socially disadvantaged. And socially disadvantaged person must have a certification or background in the field that they're going after. So, for example, I'm a CPA, but I am not in construction, so I would not be able to open up a construction company that to be able to get certified in, because I just don't have the experience in it. I don't have a license, I don't have a general contracting license, and that's what makes it important. And you have to be, like I said this before, you have to be actively involved in the day-to-day operations of the company. So are you ready to get certified? Here's what the business certifications are best for. A company with clear defined audience and established service. So if you just open up your business as a startup last week, business certification might not be the best for you. It needs to be a company with a brand or identity. And when I say that, what you need to do is make sure that you have a website, that you have a business email, not a Hotmail, AOL, Gmail account, or whatever that might be. Be a legitimate business. Invest in your business. That's what if you're going after these bigger contracts or with a corporation or with the government, you want to have a legitimate business that is branded and it has a great identity and you are known. Business owners are responsive. This is what's going to be really important. Business certifications generally going to be a company that is going to be around at least 18 months, that have accounting records, that have a website, that have a business email, that are on, whenever you call them up, they're going to be ready to go. That's the type of business that government agencies and corporations are looking for to work with. They were also looking for businesses that want to grow and are committed to it, and they have enough working capital. Now, working capital is the financial means to be able to keep your company going while you are waiting for the money to come in, either from the government or from a corporation. And they're also looking at business certification is also, which getting more clients and getting more business development, it's important. But the most important thing that I find with business certifications is the opportunity to network with other small businesses and other corporations and other government agencies as well. You may want to wait for a business certification if your business is just a side hustle and you're working full-time and you're not really putting a lot of energy into your business. You might want to wait also for a certification for some other things. If you don't have a marketing plan or a brand, or if you are still using a Gmail account or AOL account, probably not the right time. But you can change all of these things. If you have a bunch of different businesses, but really don't have a direction of where you want to go, you might want to consider either consolidating these, or you might want to decide which one you might want to let go. When you have, as entrepreneurs, and I've done this myself, when you have so many different types of businesses and they are not under one business, it makes me kind of look like you have too many balls in the air in order to try to figure out, okay, is it this LLC and this LLC or this LLC? So really defining that with a good business plan would be really important. So you know where the direction that you're going to go for. What kind of service are you going to offer? What kind of product are you going to offer? And really detail that so you can get clear on your mission. If you don't have a CPA or a bookkeeper, don't have any accounting system, you're writing your financials on a cocktail napkin, probably not a good thing to get a business certification. Most business certifications do ask for financials. Find a good CPA. Find a good accountant. It doesn't have to be a CPA. It could be an accountant. As you go in more into your business, as your business matures, financials are really the critical part of telling you whether you are being successful or not. If you haven't filed your taxes in the past couple of years, probably want to wait until you get your taxes taken care of before you move on to a business certification. Most certifications require between 3 to 5 years of tax returns. Some of them do require 2 years of tax returns. And you probably want to wait if your business is less than 6 months old. So here's some myths about certifications that I've heard. There probably are more. A certification is a guarantee for grants. That's not true. But there are a lot of agencies that do ask you this question, that if you were certified, then they give you a little bit more leeway. And they do have grants within some of these organizations, NMSDC and also the WBNC. And we're going to talk about some of those. I'm giving you a lot of acronyms right now, but we'll get to that. And then there's another myth where once you get certified, these agencies are just going to come to you and you're just going to get so many jobs and this is really awesome. No, a certification is basically just another tool in your belt. It's a great tool to have, but it is also going to have to be something where you're going to still have to go out and network. You're still going to have to market. It's not a lottery ticket, and so that's what's really important to remember. A lot of people also think, well, I don't need any help. I can fill out a form. And you can do that. But what we are trying to do in this community that we have for the school community, for the growth network, is really trying to let you know there are so many different forms that you need to have when you're starting a business. But what I find is about 95% of the small businesses that I've worked with do not have the proper paperwork. And if they do have the proper paperwork, the numbers do not match from the tax return to the financials, or the business documents of ownership do not match the tax return. These are just some kind of things I've seen. Another myth is the government's going to constantly call you, which is not true. They'll call you if you've already had a contract and they have past performance, but they generally are not sitting there waiting for you to get your certification. Remember, it's just another tool for you. Next up, is a myth that you don't need financial statements. You do need financial statements. So what kind of business certifications are there? There are over 400 certifications. I had no idea. When I worked for the SBA, I really did not. I knew that there were some states had them, but I didn't realize the magnitude of number of certifications that were out there. There are federal certifications, there's state, there's local, and there's corporate certifications if you want to do business as a supplier, a diverse supplier. So we're going to kind of go over these on some. So certifications, there are a lot of corporations that are looking for diverse businesses in order to do business with. They have different programs. Most of them are called supplier diversity. In our BizCentral USA YouTube channel, and you can go there, it's at BizCentral USA. We do have some supplier diversity databases that, we walk through. I believe Lowe's is one of them, Home Depot is one of them, but go on our website, subscribe to our channel. We're always trying to update that information so that we can try to give you as much information as possible. And also join our school community. So let's talk about some corporate certification. This is one of my favorite ones. I am a woman-owned minority service disabled veteran. And so the Women Business Enterprise National Council is a great certification to get. It is for women-owned businesses over 51%. And you are in a network nationwide of women. This is a non-profit organization. They are also approved by the SBA to do the WOSB, all these acronyms, which is Women-Owned Small Business. And so you can do both applications, the WBE, Women Business Enterprise, which will allow you to get corporate contracts. And then there is going to be the WOSB, which will give you federal contracts, but you get to do them in one certification application. They are nationwide. What I really enjoy about the WBNC is it is outstanding for networking. It has a lot of different programs for women, not outside of just the certification. It has great opportunities for networking. They are broken down into the different regional areas. Because they're a nonprofit, they do charge a non-refundable application fee based on your gross receipts when you do the application. But again, it is so worth it. And if you ever get a chance, please go over to wbnc.org. And they are a great one. The next one, if you are a minority and your business is at least 51% minority, you can go to the National Minority Supplier Development Council, NMSDC. You can visit their website. And this one, you must be a U.S. citizen. So make sure that you know that you must be a U.S. citizen. They also have a fee because they are a nonprofit organization, and this is a membership. And both of these are, your membership fee there is going to be deductible. Another one, which I am a member of, is the National Veteran Business Development Business Certification. And it is a nonprofit organization for veteran-owned businesses. They, again, have a non-refundable application fee, and every region is going to be a little bit different. Another one is Disabled-Owned Business Certification, DOBI. This is put on by Disability IN. They are a nonprofit organization, and this is for those owners, at least 51% owners who have a disability. I would encourage you to go to their website and for the certification, because I believe there's like about 2 pages of what is considered to be a disability. And it's everything from, I think it would be good for you just to go ahead and look at what they consider to be a disability. I can't remember all of the different disability issues for health. Next up is the LGBTBE certification, which is run by the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. This is a nationwide organization it's corporate, but a lot of states accept this certification. There's several states that accept this for state contracts. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about state contracting. Now, certifications on a weekly basis, statewide bids are available. There's about 32,000 nationwide, 33,000. And 32% of these state and local contracts are going to certified companies. So at the state level, every single state has different certifications. There's the WBE, Women Business Enterprise, the MBE, Minority Business Enterprise, DBE, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the DBE later on. There's some states where they don't have anything but the DB, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and we'll talk more about that in a future slide. And then the Small Business Enterprise is for its non-gender or non-race or ethnicity for that certification. And then there are generally almost every single state has a veteran program. So let's talk about some federal certifications. Most people are aware of these, but we're going to cover them anyways. Here are the small business procurement for FY 2024. And these certifications right here, you can see at the very top, are the goals that the different federal agencies have. So let's look over here at OPM. Their prime contract small business goal was at 53%. Meaning they wanted 53% of all their contracts to come from small businesses. SBA, my old organization, their goal is 70%, very high. And so you can go ahead and look whatever category that you are looking at, you can go ahead and figure out, okay, how many percentage of contracts went to, this is done in March of 2024. You can figure out what those contracts are. Here are the forecast in 2024 that was done actually of what how many contracts forecasted for across the US. You can see this is not a very good slide as far as looking at the numbers. Some of these contracts are 10.1 million to 20 million. They're going to be over multiple years. So we're going to talk about these certifications, and I will show you on our BizCentral website before we do that how to find out what kind of certifications that you qualify for. So when you go to our website at BizCentral USA, here's the home page. If you scroll down to the middle, you can figure out what certifications do you qualify for. And then you would just click here. And then you just answer these questions. So let's see, I'm a woman, veteran, minority. I'm going to say that my personal net worth, not including my primary home. So I'm going to say yes. And if you look down here, here are all of the certifications that I qualify for. And then you can just click on one of these links and you can go there. So many people have heard about the SBA 8A Business Development Program, and that is actually run by the SBA, Small Business Administration. It is a great certification to get, and here are some of the requirements. It's a 9-year program that, unless you graduate out of it, some key things that are important to remember is that, you must be U.S. citizen. This must be your full-time business, that you work inside of your company. The SBA 8A, they will do a full financial background, and there's a lot of details. And in our community, we're going to talk more about the different requirements that are required for the SBA 8A. If you qualify for this program, I highly encourage you to apply for it. You must be in business for at least 2 years and have at least 6 different vendors providing not more than 25% each. That's a lot of words. So basically, you can't just have one vendor that's been paying you the whole time. You need to have at least 4 different companies paying you at least 25% to show that you are a viable business. Next up is going to be probably one of the most valuable certifications is the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, or the DBE. This certification is actually federally funded and administered by the Department of Transportation. So that's the federal side. But the DOT says, hey, we're not going to handle this getting companies certified. So states, if we give you money in order to get certified, then you're going to have to manage the program. If we give you money for your roads, so what DOT does is they say, hey, states, if we give you money for your roads, you're going to have to manage this program. Well, of course, the federal government is giving money for road work and so forth. So they push the responsibility down to each individual state. So your business must be at least 51% owned by socially and economically disadvantaged. And one of the things we did not talk about earlier is what is socially disadvantaged. So socially disadvantaged is defined in most of these certifications as either being a woman or a minority, which you must have at least 25% Hispanic, Asian, African American, Native Hawaiian, Native American, or Alaskan, or Native American. You have to be a U.S. citizen, but you can be a legal permanent resident of the United States. All of these applications and usually are going to require, once you are done with the paperwork, and then the next thing that is going to be needed is going to be an interview. Again, one of the things I really like to tell people is make sure that whoever is considered to be the socially or economically disadvantaged, they must be considered to be operating the day-to-day operations of the business. One other thing with the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise is your adjusted net worth, personal net worth, just your assets for whoever that 51% must be less than 1.32 million, not including your home. For the WBE, Women Business Enterprise, those are across the board. As you saw before, they're at the corporate level, they're at the state level, and at the federal level, they call it the WOSB. This must be a female-owned business with at least 51% operated and controlled. Remember that day-to-day operations. So if you have a 51% owner, that is a female, but she's not really doing anything in the business, it was just put in by name, she's not operating the business and controlling the business. And so this can be either a US citizen or a green card holder. And depending on, most of the states do have this program. They generally want about 3 years of business or personal tax returns if it's on the Schedule C. This does require generally about a visit, either virtual interview or site visit, and it takes between 90 to 120 days to get this certification. An MBE, Minority Business Enterprise, is, again, very similar to the WBE, but it is for minorities. It is a profit business. So the key things for any certification is it must be a profit business. And it does take about 90 days to go through the whole process. And some states, though, for the MBE do require a financial personal net worth statement to be submitted with the application. For veterans, there is the Veteran-Owned Small Business and the Service-Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business Certification. If you're a veteran and you have, the first thing you'll need to do is have a sam.gov account, and then you can go and get your certification in order to compete for contracts. Here are some of the things that are that you need to go ahead and do. Both male and female are allowed to get the certification as long as they are a veteran. There's also the SBE, and this is generally going to be at the county or city level, depending on where you're located at. Some states don't even have an SBE program, but some states do, and some, they're mostly in districts areas. And this is race and gender neutral. So let's talk about some of the steps to get certified. So we're going to go through a lot of stuff, and that's why joining our community is going to be so important. There's a lot of information in putting inside of an application. Most of the applications that we have across the US, those over 400 of them, they generally have some classes to help you walk through them. And at the end of all of this, we also have a paid community too that helps you with all of this. But rewatch this video a couple of times in order to help you to see if you're ready for a certification. So here are the basic certification steps. The first thing, go to our website and match your business goals with the right certification. You don't have to get all of them. You may just want to get one. Next step is you want to start collecting all the information and getting organized. Where's your bank signature card? When's the last time you did a resume? And where's your operation agreement? And then the next step will be filling out the application. And then once you submit your application, you can go, "Hi, I'm done." Nope. They're going to come back with clarifying questions. It's very normal. They're going to ask you all kinds of questions just so that they understand. And then the next part of it is once everything's complete, you'll have your interview. And then once you do that, you're going to get the certification. It really is getting a certification, getting into government contracting is really just leveling up to the next level. And it does take time. There are some certifications in some states, they take as long as 18 months to 2 years, just because they are so bogged down. It is an investment of time and money for your business now. So let's talk about some of these basic business documents, and we're not going to get really granular. I always recommend that for whatever certification that you are going to do, that I recommend that you collect all business documents before applying, because That's going to be the biggest challenge, is making sure that your business documents are perfect. So where do you get your business documents? Well, your legal counsel or your accountant or wherever you signed up, maybe it was LegalZoom, they might have some of these business documents. But some of these documents they probably did not give you because they just aren't part of the documents that businesses usually give you. We also, BizCentral USA also has a paid community called the Inner Circle, and we show you how, making sure that all of this process is available. So we'll have a link below, but it is also an option for you to go in there and find out, okay, is this what I want to go ahead and do? Next up is you might find the business documents online. Be careful though, because if you do have more than one owner, an operating agreement or bylaws may not fit. And sometimes I've seen clients when they've used generic documents that they go ahead and it's pretty messed up and they get denied. And so while I would highly recommend that you look at and consult an attorney or consult somebody from legal in order to figure out, okay, what do I need to do in order to make sure that all my documents are correct, especially if you have more than one owner. Again, we will have a lot of this information in our free community, but it's going to be kind of limited. So it's going to be the very basic information, but we also have the paid community for the Inner Circle as well. So let's talk about the key identification documents that you're going to need for any certification. You're going to need an active driver's license so they can see who you are, prove your identity. You're going to need the proof of your U.S. citizenship or your legal permanent resident. The proof of ethnicity. If you're going for an MBE, you have to prove that you are like 25%. One of the things that if you are going for a minority business enterprise or a disadvantaged business enterprise to claim social disadvantage, one of the things you're going to have to do is prove your ethnicity. Now, a lot of people ask me this question, well, why can't I just show my driver's license? That won't work. So you have to prove what ethnicity, where that 25% has come from. Remember, what socially disadvantaged is considered to be Asian, African American, Native Hawaiian, Native American, and or Hispanic. So if your birth certificate doesn't say that, you may need to get a parent's birth certificate to show their ethnicity, or you may have to show naturalization papers. Another option is to be able to show the death certificate. You can't go any further back because of the 25% than a grandparent. And then you'll have to show the lineage. Okay, this is my grandfather, and this is my mother, and this is my birth certificate to show that. Resumes. If you're an entrepreneur like me, you probably haven't written a resume for a long time. You do have to submit a resume to show your experience in how you are able to have this experience in running your business. Business assets. So you're going to have to include a list of assets that are in your business. And this includes also any kind of leases that you have for building, or if you're operating your business from your home, you will have to put that down as your business address as well. So if you're an LLC, limited liability company, these are the documents that you're going to need. And I kind of pause on this for just a little bit so you can always pause the video to look at these documents. In our community, we do talk about this, and you will be able to know what kind of documents that are going to be available. Every certification is going to be a little bit different, so make sure that you have these documents already ahead of time. If you're a partnership, then you're going to need to have these type of documents. As you can see, a lot of these documents are things that you got from your attorney or somebody that you've set up your business with. If you are a corporation, you are going to need all of these documents: minutes, articles of incorporation, certificate of corporation. And if you haven't set up your business yet, we actually have classes to start your business in the community. Minutes, copies of stock certificates, issued, not issued, stock ledger. And then you're going to have to come up with some key financial documents. One of the key documents is going to be proof of capital contribution. This is one of the questions that we normally get. What is that? So proof of capital contribution is the very first dollars that you put into your business. So if you bought your business, then it's going to be that check that you wrote to buy a business. If you started your own business, so that might be that when you registered your company with the Secretary of State, or it could be to pay a law firm to go ahead and do the paperwork for it. Maybe it was LegalZoom, or it could be the first money that you put into your business. And then you're going to need a bank signature card or a letter from the bank. And all of these things, even though we're going through them pretty quickly, they're going to be inside of our community. And, you'll learn what these things are needed. Maybe you have a corporate bank resolution that will have to also be turned in. Business federal tax returns will have to be put in there. Sometimes federal tax returns, like for the DBE and the SB 8A, you will have to submit personal tax returns. If you have a payroll, you will have to go ahead and get in there. Remember, payroll is W-2 wages. If you don't have a payroll, that's okay. Any kind of loan agreements that you have, you should be this will have to go inside of your application. Financial statements. So this is going to be your profit and loss and your balance sheets. The history of your business. In a couple of certifications and applications, you will have to put in the history of how you started this business. Where did the money come from to start the business? Where do you see yourself going in the business? So some sort of applications do have a requirement to talk about the history of your business. You will also have to have references for your business, what kind of contracts that you have. Some applications do require that you provide invoices and showing the invoice and then where the money hit your bank account as well. So it really depends. So you'll have to sometimes provide contracts. If you're going for a disadvantaged business enterprise, or if you're in a state that requires a personal net worth, some of them do require this, then a personal net worth statement is going to be a breakdown of all your personal assets, just you. So if you have a spouse, then it would still only be you that they're looking for, those numbers. And then there are going to be affidavits. That you're going to have to get notarized saying that this is the truth and nothing but the truth, and you're going to have to submit them in proving this information is the best of your knowledge. But all of these questions are just like so much information. So I really encourage you to join our free community, and join us and ask these questions within the community. If you are looking for more and you're like, hey, I'm ready to get started now to get this going, we do have a paid community as well. After you get all that paperwork, it's time to submit your application, fill out your application, and there are many different places to fill out your application. You just have to figure out which one you're going to go for. And then after that happens, the agencies are going to ask you a bunch of questions. It's pretty normal because what they're trying to do is they're trying to clarify. And as you're doing the application, sometimes you make mistakes inside the application, but they're trying to clarify what's going on. And then next is the interview process. The interview process can be nerve-wracking for some people. And what they're trying to do is just find out more about your business, find out who's really operating the company, and just learn more about your business so they can help a determination to send it over to the board to make the final decision whether or not you're going to get that certification. After you've done the interview, you want to create your capability statement. And that's basically a 1 or 2 page statement, kind of like a business resume that you're going to send out to supplier diversity in corporations and the government, or just network with people. And then your certification is awarded. You do a little happy dance. It's pretty awesome. You post it all over your website. You put it on LinkedIn, all these different things that you want to go ahead and do. And then you start networking. As a business, you should probably already have started networking, but when you get a certification, you're going to get opportunities like prime contractors looking for subcontractors. They are going to be looking for different types of small businesses to help them fulfill their goals. For networking, you want to go to networking meetings, events, and so forth. There's so much more that is involved with networking, and the certification, like we said before, on one of the myths, just because you're getting a certification, it doesn't mean that you're going to be sitting back and just waiting for the work to come in. It still requires marketing. It still requires networking, and it is all there. But it's just expanding your network. So we're going to talk a little bit about contracting basics. And here is the contracting overview. You've got a certified company now, and then you find bid proposals. And in our community, we talk about some different free places services that are available that you can go to and make an appointment and get bids for sent right to your mailbox. And then, so you find these bid proposals either for the government or corporation, maybe it's a supplier diversity. Again, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can see any kind of new things that happen. And we'll also post it in our school community. And then you prepare the proposal for the bid and reading through the bid. What does this mean? What are my prices going to be? Learning that whole different process. And then your proposal is accepted. And then you're like, oh yeah, I finally got it. And then you need to find staffing and funding and then the performance. This is very basic. Here's the thing. There's a lot of money to be made in contracting. A lot of people know that, but it's not as simple as just getting a certification and then just doing a couple bids. It's completely learning a different level of language. It's leveling up. And if you are willing to learn about all this different avenues and network and just constantly learn. I think in the beginning, we talked about one of the first things that a lot of people do is they get a subcontract with someone. And that is going to be super important with a prime because then you're learning the ropes. There's a whole lot of information. So we built this community, this free community, in order to help you. But we also have the paid community for those people who want to move forward and get as much possible and done. But the free community will have the basic information that when you are ready to move forward, we're going to be here for you. And so I want to thank you for spending the time with me today. And I would really love to see you in the free community or the paid community so we can advance your business further. Remember, fortune favors the bold. And thank you for taking the time to go through this video. And I hope you join our community. I'll see you on the inside.